Why F1 cars won't be electric anytime soon. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? All of us F1 fans love the noise of the cars, and if you were a fan of the sport when F1 went down the road of hybrid engines in 2014, you'll know that there was a rather large backlash from fans about how the cars then sounded. So will we be getting no sound at all in the years to come? Are electric F1 cars round the corner? Here's why you can take a deep breath and know that F1 won't be going electric anytime soon. In the past few years, F1 has launched a massive sustainability push and hopes to be carbon neutral by 2030. On top of that, they also want to have every race entirely sustainable by 2025. It's all brilliant work in the important fight against climate change. But there has always been one annoyance for people who say F1 isn't sustainable, and that's because F1 cars themselves aren't electric. F1 has officially said that for the new power unit regulations in 2025, the plan is to stay with hybrids. But why? Why is F1 not going to be fully electric? Firstly, it's because of the current power units. Since 2014, F1 has used a 1.6 litre V6 turbo hybrid engine, and they're actually very sustainable in their own right. They use electric power formed from fuels and are basically the most efficient power units in history. A normal road car is about 30% thermal efficient. In 2017, the Mercedes clocked over 50%. That's a huge and brilliant difference. This is because of the ERS, which stands for Energy Recovery System. This does exactly what it says on the tin, collects energy that would be wasted and converts it into power. The ERS is made up of the MGU-K and the MGU-H. They are both motor generator units, one for kinetic energy and one for heat. You may hear about these on TV when a car is having a power unit issue. The MGU-K collects energy from braking and stores that in the energy store, which is like a big rechargeable battery. This energy is then put back into the car to make it go faster. The MGU-H is a little bit more complex. It collects energy from the hot gases in the exhaust, which turn a turbine, and saves energy into the energy store. This energy is then used to make the turbo spin much faster, which makes the car more powerful. So when you're playing the F1 game and you switch to hot lap mode on the ERS, you're actually using electric power to go faster. The teams have also spent a shed load developing these highly complicated F1 power units and don't want any of that to just get thrown in the bin for a whole new formula. They're also starting to provide a high-performance testbed for new sustainable fuels rather than fossil fuels. From 2025, sustainable fuels are going to be compulsory. Even without the push for hybrid tech, there's another big barrier in the way for F1 if they wanted to become electric, and that's because they're not actually allowed to. Formula E, yes, I can't believe it's taken this long to mention them either, actually have an exclusivity deal for electric power for an FIA series until 2039. That's another 18 years from now. When electric power was put towards Ross Brawn a few years ago as a potential F1 solution, he didn't rule it out. Ross said to the F1 Fan Voice site, if in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, or whenever there is a need, desire, wish to have a different type of power unit in Formula 1, we'll do it. But the boss of Formula E, Alejandro Agag, had a few words to say back. Ross said that Formula 1 could go electric in 10 years, and basically, they can't. We have exclusivity until at least 2039, so no electric F1 until then at least. So really, even if F1 wanted to, they're banned from going fully electric. The power units, as I've mentioned in Formula 1, are hugely sustainable already and are making progress without the need to go electric. But what F1 need to do more is shout about how fantastic these power units are. The technology is brilliant and is pioneering a whole new use for hybrid power. So there you have it, the reasons why F1 isn't going to be the next Formula E anytime soon. What do you think the next engine formula will be? A V6 still? A V8? Maybe even a V4? Let us know in the comment section below. Before you go, how do you fancy playing a racing game and earning an in-game currency that can be converted into real-life cash? Oh, you do? Well, let me introduce you to Revv Racing, the first of its kind blockchain racing game. In Revv Racing, you have complete control of your car and will need to accelerate, brake and steer. The game can be played with a keyboard or a controller, it's up to you. You best be quick in signing up as Revv Motorsport is bringing you an exciting new Revv Racing tournament, the YGG Cup, which starts at 8 AM UTC on the 10th of September 2021. The prize, I hear you ask? $150,000 worth of YGG and Revv will be shared amongst the top 1,000 players. The top 3 players will also receive a Revv Motorsport NFT trophy. The YGG Cup is a 6-day tournament in which you enter a race consisting of 3 laps. This is a time attack style tournament where the standings on the leaderboard are determined by your fastest total race time. To compete in the YGG Cup, you need a Revv Racing Car NFT, which you might already have from our WTF1 NFT car giveaway, or it can be purchased on OpenSea. You can find out more about Revv and this competition by going to the link in the description below.